Mic check. Mic check 1 2. We are at an interesting impasse in time. We are seeing recently there was a tweet I found pretty useful by a couple of the women in Twitter. Now, they pointed out that Richard Heart was in the GitHub, and previous indicators no indication of future actions. I'm kidding. Basically saying he was having a look at the GitHub, which is not what this stream is about, per se. But this stream is about, just imagine if something, God only knows, could take over legacy finance. It could take over regular banks, you know. We're seeing some of the largest failures ever take place within the banking sector, within the largest banking sector in the world, which is in the US economy. They have ties all across the globe, the US banks, that is. Now, why is that? Well, before I go into that, I would like to point out this, that for anyone at this point in time who is not actually either aware of Hex, Pulsechain, or PulseX, or everything built around it, if they're not aware of it, are they really informed when it comes to cryptocurrency? Also, if they are aware of it and yet they're not talking about it, for what reason are they not talking about Hex, Pulsechain, or PulseX, or what Richard Heart has done within the crypto ecosphere, or what is being built upon the test nets, which haven't even been released yet, but we are seeing mass amounts of, yes, there were lots of sacrifices and things like that, but it appears people are trying to build. Now, we have seen some shit shows and things have come and gone, and some things have been copy pasted in a bad way, and things like that. But for the ones that do make it, as well as Hex, Pulsechain, and PulseX, they might be, you know, sort of infiltrated with Hexkins, I would say, because the majority of these builders, I would say, were Hexicans, or knew about it, or were early adopters, which puts crypto itself in a interesting space, because, like I said, people not talking about Hex, about Pulsechain, PulseX at this point in time with high ETH fees, and they're talking about DeFi. I really wonder, you know. I could be wrong, but even Coinbase, when you go to it, it will list Hex as an option to buy, but you have to go through their decentralized exchange, their backend, to be able to access Hex, because if you go to purchase it, it won't let you buy it from them. But rather, you can go into the Coinbase login and then go to their, I think it's their advanced trading section, and where you can exchange, you know. I'm pretty sure in a DeFi way. Yeah, what's happening? But yeah, and then, so, you know, you have these centralized exchanges. Maybe they can see where all of this is going. Because where I think this is going is crypto is going to be able to help those who seek it. Because the silence on crypto, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere is deafening. When they know goddamn well that Hex is pumping, look at it right now, up 20% compared to the rest of the market. But yet silence. Now, the saying fix money and fix the world reigns true, yeah? So the question is, who in power controls the money? Because if you're going to say fix money, fix the world, doesn't that mean replace those who are in power? Because, you see, if you're in power of that money, you know, and something's broken, well, you can add one and one together. Now, the people in power, I would say one arm wishes to control you. The other has more power than you can possibly imagine, and quite possibly has its tentacles within the branches that wish to control you, as we can see with the CBDC and the political fiasco, the shit show that we witness on a day-to-day basis. So let's compare what happened. Now, I was going to look at, ever so briefly, these people who wish to control us all through fear, military conquest, and the like. I don't know what it is their intentions are here. Basically, governments attacking governments, like nuclear powers going to war, is insane. Now, putting that aside, during the pandemic, right, one sector who sits at the top wasted over 60 million on rat tests. Now, this is just one of the few things they wasted. Think of the stimulus, the stimmy checks, the helicopter money, the facilities that were built, all in the name of science, because the 14 days will stop the curve, right? Now it's coming out. Auditors are going in and going, okay, 60 million in rat tests, you could have built 2 new hospitals for that. But your fear led you down this path to spend 60 million of taxpayers' money. Now, this is probably a similar thing across the world. Meanwhile, back in 2020, other, sectors who are in control, who have more money and power than you can possibly imagine, who are the problem with money, like aka the Rothschilds, were building up more and more. We see here, in 2020, this was taking place. Now, not too many people were probably paying attention in 2020 on, who the Rothschilds are hiring. There is banks here in Australia that have deep roots with the Rothschilds. We can see here, the Rothschild asset management business, was an acquisition. So when I say the Rothschilds are still in power today, I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding at all. Have a look. There's a little bit of information out there on the internet if you wish to seek it. Go to this one. International, Belgium, France, Germany, Italy, Luxembourg, Monaco, Portugal, Spain, Switzerland, and UK. They have their power far and wide. So, in closing, I thought, well, maybe it's just all, you shouldn't believe everything you read in the papers, or you shouldn't believe everything you read on the internet. So I thought I would have a look at the Bloodlines of the Illuminati, the book, I can no longer find it, the complete copy online, for free. But then this comes up at the top, and I swear this is a troll. It has to be. Bloodlines of the Illuminati from the CIA.gov. It says this book will not tell you how to deal with the Illuminati families. The volume is simply the first of 2 which is published to give an overview of. And then you open it up. And that's why I'm like, what am I even looking at here? So then I went through, I have the actual book. And I was going through some stuff and pulling up some information relative to Australia, and the things they're pulling up is just unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. So when you think about it, fix money, fix the world, crypto is going to be used to help those who seek it. They're going to try and ban it along with cash. They're not going to succeed. It makes no sense. That's like them trying to ban gold bars. Fix money, fix the world. Who is in power of that money? We need to fix those who are in power. Not like through some civil war and civil unrest and militant uprising or anything like that. Simply put, things are going to be built that cannot be stopped. You can't put Hex back into the tube. You know, there's no putting the toothpaste back in the tube. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. You know, that's out. It's been released. People don't talk about it, even though on the day it's up about 21% relative to the rest of the market. Now rates, as telegraphed, were increased. You know, the economy is not looking too good. So on top of that, we're seeing bank failures, and who is in charge of some of these failures? You know. But here's the problem. I don't think the banks will completely fail and people will go bankrupt. I think most likely the rich and powerful will get even more rich and powerful. And those within crypto may basically, they might be able to try and reach and compete with that at least, which is better than the other option, alternative, which is doing nothing at all and just hoping that the rich and powerful will hand out the money to us all. Because the rich and powerful, when they try and hand out money to us all through government, we end up with rat tests, a lot of rat tests. Or alternatively, we might end up with a world war. So, yeah. Switching back to Hex, to Pulse Chain, you know. Once it's released into the world, there will be no stopping it. Will it fix the entire world? No. But I think it will help those who seek it. And the people not talking about it, I just gotta wonder. Are they bought and paid for shills completely? Are they so lacking the ability to understand what it does, Hex, Pulse Chain, Pulse Hex? Are they so lacking the ability to understand what it does and how it can benefit, but yet turn around and then talk about Bitcoin and say Bitcoin is going to save the world? Has it? We're closer to World War III than we've ever been, and has Bitcoin saved us? When it was near all-time highs, did Bitcoin save us? How has crypto actually saved us? To people who, you know, have already made large amounts on it. That's why I say crypto is going to help those who seek it. Because those in power, whether it be government, whether it be large banking families or similar, are not going to be the answer to the problems that we all have, financially speaking. So with Hex being built and released, Pulse Chain being built, if and when it comes out, and what those two might do together, the synergy that it will form and bring to the crypto space, the economic energy that will be created, will be, I think, will be mind-blowing, face-melting, and never been seen before. Especially with the bridges, especially with the ability to jump across chains, back and forth between Hex on Ethereum and Hex on Pulse Chain. I think a lot of people are going to create a lot of money, a lot of economic energy to be able to punch up, you know. There's a lot of pushback as well in regards to regulation across the world. People are pointing out logical flaws in their bodies that try and produce regulation, you know. It's coming. Fix money, fix the world. We've got to fix the people who are in power. To fix the people who are in power that have a lot of money, we need a lot of money. And if we get a lot of money, then we might better make the change that we all need. Not that we want, that we need. Alright, that's about it. I'm looking forward to Pulse Chain. I was going to claim the wait token, but I decided not to via a flip of a coin. What else? Hex is performing quite nicely. Personally, I want mad gains now, but also I want my mad gains when I have liquid Hex to be super greedy. And if everything's locked up in stakes, well, it's going to be a while so I can take advantage of any increases in the hex price. But if Pulse Chain does launch relatively soon, say within this month, it will open up some more doors and windows for myself, financially speaking. Now, what is on the other side of those doors? I do not know yet. It could be a lot. For other people, even more. And for people who are new to crypto, maybe it might be their opportunity to discover what it's like to get in early on a Ethereum, you know. Not financial advice, not anything. In an unofficial manner, just my thoughts. But yeah, if you want to take on everything that is wrong in the world, you're going to need some financial backing. If you want to take on everything that is causing the control of humanity and shaping our future, if you want to say in that, then you need to speak up. Otherwise, it's going to be, the future is going to be shaped in whoever's in control's opinion of how the world should look. Again, whether that be government or whether that be, you know, large entities. I don't know the solution, but it's going to require a lot of money. And I think, in a way, Elon Musk doesn't make a good, the way he goes about it, that's a pretty decent approach, you know. People who build Hex, Pulse Chain, that's a pretty decent approach as well, you know. One approach is literally providing the tech needed to shape the future somewhat. The second is like literally creating an infrastructure to allow people to produce their own energy, economic energy, infinite economic energy. Imagine that. It's impossible, right? Well, if the US debt clock is at what figure? At what point do you admit that those numbers have no meaning anymore? Beyond political argument about the US debt ceiling. It's a near infinite credit card that will never run out. And I think people are realizing this. Alright. That is pretty much all I've got to say. While I wait for Pulse Chain, let's have a look. I'll have a quick look on Twitter and wrap this one up. Because this whole war thing is a great distraction. But economy-wise, yeah, it's going to be several years of stagnation, I guess you'd call it. It'd just be flat in some areas. But if you seek it, you know, cryptocurrency might be there if you want to check it out, and you know, it might make some more economic energy available, which previously had not existed. Technology did not exist. Now it does. It's been released. Alright, that's all. Thank you for tuning in, as always. Yeah. Radio silence on Hex pumping 20%. But everyone's talking about the other meme coins, you know? Hang on. What's going on? What is actually going on? We're having attacks on the equivalent of the White House on Russia. Audits pulling out figures that they could have built 2 new hospitals, but instead they spent it on rat tests, which were made where? And previously, during the COVID pandemic, you know, Rothschilds were making some moves. And they still exist to this day. Question is, can we exist better? Can we do it better than that? Time will tell. Time reveals all. All right, peace. Signing out.